Hey guys, Dave with Moniology here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is December 15th, 2021, and this is the premium preview for the uranium sector. We had quite a day today, and I look forward to seeing what happens the rest of the week. But today was a very constructive day, and I want to kind of show you what I'm looking at right now. So first and foremost, let's start with the URA ETF, and we've been in a very constructive downtrend here. Painful but constructive since the highs back in early December or late November, and we finally broke out of this one today. Now, truth be told, we broke out of it middle December here, and then we back tested it with not necessarily positive divergence, but we didn't make a new low on RSI here. Broke out. This yellow rectangle is what I drew out. Was the buy zone. So the fact that it was bought here is a good sign, but it needs to break back into this uptrend here. That would be around 25. It's still got some work to do, but I like the fact that the MACDs are moving in a positive direction here on the daily. If you look here on the 4-hour chart, in fact, what we'll do going forward is just look at the 4-hour charts, because frankly, the weekly charts are bullish. The daily charts were bearish, and we just needed the shorter term charts to switch, and that's what we got. So URA pretty constructive, but still needs to break out above this 25 level, and then we'll see where we go from there. The URNM, another look. So the URNM, was unique about this is we had 1, 2, 3 consecutive lows, but notice RSI did not make new lows on any of them. So we had positive divergence. And we've got finally the MACDs crossed over to bullish territory. And again, we need to break above 82 for me to say that we're back in the uptrend. But I think the bottom here was confirmed today. We've got 3 straight up days with significant, or three straight 4-hour periods with significant volume, especially on the last one here. So a good sign. Let's see what the daily looked like here, just so we can get a comparison. Again, downtrend, breakout, back test, and then boom, and which is what often happens. But what I want to see on the daily is a break above the 50 RSI level, which we haven't had yet. So tomorrow is going to be key. We don't want to have a day where we drop a couple percentage points. You want to see a follow through. But the key to this video is the Sprott Uranium Trust. Here, just expanding, zooming out a little bit on the daily chart. We had 2 buy zones. The significant consolidation between 10 and 12 broke out of this. This is when SPUT really went live here in late August, really rallied, and then we've been in this distribution phase, this bullish flag. And we finally bounced here the other day on off of this middle of this bullish flag, and today was a great follow through, but we still didn't close above the 50, so we still have some work to do. But if this flag breaks roughly above 15, then I think you're looking at a move that's going to take the SPUT into the 20s, mid 20s. So time will tell, but it's a very good sign. Looking at this from a weekly standpoint, just to give you an idea where we are, this was a hugely, so far, bullish hammer pattern. And the fact that a lot of these names are rallying off their 50 RSI level is critically important. So we're going to go switch back to the 4-hour chart here to look at some of the shorter term momentum. Here's Cameco. Cameco, again, very well defined downtrend. We had a lower low, no new low on RSI. MACDs are now in positive territory. So tomorrow is the key. Tomorrow we want to break around 2250 or thereabout and stage a new uptrend here in Cameco. Denison is another name you want to keep an eye on, and as a momentum name. We broke out a couple of days ago, rallied, back tested, lower low, no new lows on RSI, so positive divergence, and then boom, off we went. So what I want to see is a break above the 147 zone, and it also needs to break this 54 4-hour moving average here as well, around 160. That's what I'd like to see before I can say with a high degree of certainty that the worst is behind, that the bottom is in, even though I do believe the worst is behind us. Energy fuels, same sort of story. So you're seeing the same pattern. We're in a buy zone. We broke out, we back tested, and off we went. But again, I want to see this back in this uptrend before I can say that the worst is indeed behind us. All right, let's quickly take a look at some of the best names in I don't want to say best names, but some of the best performers today on this move, and see if we can identify some opportunities. Starting with, and we're going to look at the Canadian ticker. So Anfield had a huge move, 24% off the lows. When you look at Anfield, I like Anfield's longer term chart. It looks to me, looks to me like a cup and handle, and this is hugely bullish. And if this breaks out of this handle here around 11 cents, this can really make a move. My first target would be around that 19-cent zone, but this can really break out because it's very coiled stock. So watch that one. Looking at Western Uranium, Vanadium, another name that's really gotten beaten down, but longer term, huge rounded bottom, huge base, and then you have this bullish flag reversal candle here. So great opportunities for bottom picking at these levels. Very low float stocks and really took off. Forces is another name that you can draw a cup and handle here. Again, these are weekly charts that I'm kind of going through, and I'm sorry that I'm bouncing through multiple time frames, but I want to get a lot of information here. Here's another look, and so forces, you've got the rounded bottom here for much of 2021, then you've got the bullish flag, and then if you break out above 92, then you're looking for a move into the 150 range or thereabouts. So a lot of potential upside for forces. Next was GoVX. GoVX had a nice move, and you see how it trades in ranges. So we've got one breakout consolidation, another breakout bullish flag consolidation. I think we're about to set the stage for another breakout above 44 is where I would need to see a breakout here, and we'll see how it goes. But if it breaks 44, I would look to see a move into the 70 to 80 cent zone there. So I like what I'm seeing on GoVX right now. Azarga had a great move today, and Azarga hadn't pulled back as much as some of the other names. Obviously, it's in the M&A camp right now with Encore, but nevertheless, you still are able to buy it Encore through Azarga at a discount to Encore's price. So this represents a good opportunity. If this breaks 68, I think this can really rally. And for those of you who don't know, Encore is by far our largest holding, and Azarga is basically we're buying both through Azarga and Encore. Really big fan of both companies, and now they're together as one. Great opportunity. Global Atomic also on the top of our list. We don't own as much of it, but if we had the liquidity, Global Atomic is definitely up there on the list. Beautiful retrace to the buy zone. Never really broke down this uptrend, so it's one of the stronger names. Never broke 50 on the RSI on the weekly, and up we go. Next target here on Global is above $5 a share. Let's take a look at Peninsula right now. It's trading on the ASX here. Really nice, up 10%. Again, another name, in my opinion, could be an acquisition target for Encore down the road, but beautiful cup and handle. If this breaks 26, 27 cents, this is going into the 50 cent range. So quite a move so far on Peninsula. Canalaska, it's in this buy zone here. Good kind of contrarian play here, but I like buying names when they're above the 50 RSI level. And while I believe that this is going to break out eventually above 70 and go higher, I think there are better opportunities. Again, look for the names that are most bullish right now, because I think they're the ones that are going to rally, with rare exception. And like UEX is one that I believe is very oversold, and I think is a huge reversion to the mean story. ISO Energy, still very much in this bullish flag, bounced off the 50 RSI level, and this is a great opportunity. I think 650 is all but a certainty, and I think beyond that, this could be a $10 stock easy. URG today, another also a good day, bouncing off of the buy zone here, bouncing off the 54-week moving average, but I don't like names that are broken down like this, because there's a lot of resistance here between $160 and $2. So good story, but it's got some work to do. Another name that really broke down here is Boss Energy. So it's got a lot of work to do to recapture some of its old glory here. UEC. UEC also good bottoming opportunity, and this certainly trades in ranges, but with the MACDs in bearish territory, I'm not sure that this presents the best risk reward right now. Encore, one of our favorite charts, and obviously fundamentally speaking, one of the favorite stories here. I think this is going to be a $10 stock. And believe it or not, in the not too distant future. RSI well above the 50. The MACDs look like they're starting to turn on the weekly, and if this breaks roughly about 196 on the Canadian, this is going to target roughly initially roughly about 250 or so on the Canadian, but I think this one's going to be going much higher. And sorry guys, I'm still learning this system a little bit here. Not sure how to scale this down, but it is what it is. Anyway, bottom line is this is a gorgeous looking chart. Laramide, another name that recaptured its bullish flag here. So I think this one's going higher into the 120, 130 range on this next move higher. Deep yellow right now trading in Canada. Another beautiful cup and handle. I like cup and handles above $1. I think this one's going to 150 to 175. And we'll touch on just a few more names. Consolidated uranium. I like the fact that we're still in this uptrend, bounced off of support, beautiful rounded bottom, and I think this one's going to about 370 on this next bull run. Now, UEX is the name that stands out to me in the sense that it's very oversold. But when you look at it on the weekly, it's still within its uptrend, and this is a beautiful place to be adding. This is the buy zone, and I want to see RSI back above the 50, but it's so oversold. I think UEX has some of the best fundamental upside of any of the names in the Athabasca region, and I think 65 to 80 cents on this next leg higher is very, very possible and probable. I've been asked quite a bit about Uranium Royalty Corp. Well, here it is. Well, you know, it's got some work to do. Above 417, this can run pretty strongly towards 650. So we'll see how quickly it runs. Fission Uranium. This one's also in a bullish flag, bottoming here around 60 cents. I think the next move here is back towards the highs about 94, and I think this goes much higher once that breaks out. Let's see if there are any other names that I want to take a look at. I know folks will want to see Bannerman, another beautiful rounded bottom, cup and handle. If this breaks roughly 31, 32 cents, this is going to be going into the 50-cent range. Now, let's look at the, as Rick Rule calls them, the penny dreadfuls. They're definitely not dreadfuls, but very much oversold. ALX is one of the names that I think once it breaks this flag above 9 cents, the next target would be in the 20-cent zone. I think ALX has a lot of opportunity. EL8 or Elevate, another rounded bottom cup and handle. Once this breaks 53 cents, I think it's going to the 80-cent range. Forum Energy. Forum Energy is just stories beaten down. I think this is a great opportunity to be accumulating if you like one of these explorer stories. They've got some interesting properties, but supply and demand, I think there's a lot of overhang right now. So from my vantage point, I'd rather own ALX and I'd rather own PTU. Let's take a look at PTU. But here, let's look at NextGen here. NextGen broke below this buy zone, but back tested this breakout of a couple of weeks ago. I think NextGen is a great buy at these levels. I think the next move is towards the $7 to $8 range of this cycle. Let's look at Sky Harbor. Sky Harbor is also oversold, but beautiful cup and handle. I think Sky Harbor is going to make a move towards 75 and then eventually break out of this flag and go probably well above $1. Baseload. This is a beautiful chart. Baseload energy, rounded bottom, and cup and handle above 104. This goes into the 175 range. So again, you want to see the names like this that don't have this overhang like Forum Energy unfortunately does. It had a beautiful chart, and just the chart was crushed. I mean, that there's no two ways about it. Paladin, beautiful cup and handle in buy zone. If this breaks roughly 85 cents, I think this goes back into the $1 range relatively quickly. And here is Pure Point Uranium. Here's another one that just doesn't have that overhang, a Forum, and I think this one rallies back to the highs of 16 and eventually breaks out. But ultimately, with PTU, with ALX, with Forum, it's a discovery story. So any one of them could just shoot up to the sky if they merit to find something. A couple more names. Lotus. Lotus has been one of the strongest names, but the MACDs are breaking below zero right now, and versus a lot of the names where they're starting to pick up. Lotus is kind of pulling back on the MACDs, but in terms of where it is versus where it was during the cycle, this is one of the strongest looking charts. It's just the upside here, in my opinion, is not as strong, technically speaking, some of the other names, but I certainly could see Lotus going to 40 cents in the not too distant future. Let's see if there's anything else I want to just look through really quick. Yeah, I guess a lot of folks are going to be asking about Appia. Appia longer term also is a cup and handle that looks kind of interesting. If this breaks 74 cents, that's when I get interested. Could make a strong run. And then finally, Texas Mineral Resources is a name that not often covered. It's more of a rare earth play like Appia, but I like the coiled nature of this chart. Right, it broke out of this base and made a huge rally, consolidated, pulled back. Broke out, back tested, and looks like it's ready to go. So if Texas Mineral Resources breaks around 240, I think this one can make a strong move up towards the $5 range once again. So bottom line is, and let's look at 92 Energy. Again, bullish flag. If this breaks 62 cents, this is going to make a strong move up into the $1+ range. So a lot of great opportunities here. Again, find the names that don't have the overhang, technical overhangs, but I think you'll be fine regardless of which positions you choose if you catch the right cycle. But I like companies that have both a technical story and a fundamental story, and that's why our strongest position is Encore, Azarga. GoVX is a close second. And I would say Global Atomic is probably third, followed by UEX as a fourth right now. And then we've got a lot of diversified names just rounding everything out. But we are concentrated in those four names right now. And then, if opportunities present themselves, we'll expand that selection. But a lot of opportunities that I think, there's not one right way to play the sector. And frankly, if you don't know one particular stock, just get the URNM ETF and you will be just fine. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Consider supporting us through Patreon. You can do an a la carte subscription for Uranium or various other videos that we do, or you can get a monthly subscription through Patreon, and we would much appreciate it. And otherwise, for the premium members, we're going to be converting as of January 1 to Patreon, and what I'm going to be doing is sending each of you a private email with a link to subscribe to Patreon for $1, and then you'll because you have to have a minimum of $1 charge, and then you'll get access to all the videos that you currently have paid for. And much appreciate all your support. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great evening.